Well, it appears Superman has returned. All kinds of people claiming that it's now confirmed that Henry Cavill will indeed appear in a post-credit scene in the Black Adam film. Apparently, some entertainment journalists got to see the film, and they saw this in it. That Henry Cavill appears as Superman in it, has some dialogue, and is in a much brighter version of his suit. It still apparently looks the same, but it's a brighter version of it instead of the desaturated look that was familiar with the Snyder films. And also apparently they play the John Williams theme, at least in that version, that cut they saw of it. It's in there, but then again, it probably will be. So there you go. Oh no, that's it for Restore the Snyderverse. It's all over. It depends on what your definition is. If it has to be full on, Snyder comes back and directs Man of Steel 2 and then Justice League 2 and 3 and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that don't know. Maybe some form of fashion of this where he's overseeing it, or he gets an executive producer position because some of his ideas would be followed through in some form of fashion. Again, a lot of things have changed. Perhaps something like that could come along. But overall, what is the DCEU was born out of the Snyder's films. And for the most part, his casting remains in place. And certainly with Henry Cavill coming back as Superman, that goes a long way of establishing that. And what appears to be Ben Affleck back as well. We know it's already leaked out that we knew he would be in The Flash, and that now we know he'll be in Aquaman. And so that's very interesting. Now there's rumors that there's interest in a Batman versus Deathstroke. I don't know if it would be exactly the same thing that Affleck had intended to do way back when, but perhaps that could be a possibility. Other possibilities are revisiting Deathstroke being a part of a Suicide Squad film, because apparently that was one of the ideas they had for a James Gunn's movie. That he would be in that. So things are interesting, percolating about, but as far as Superman goes, all but because I don't know, you know, these things get teased. He was supposed to show up at the Comic-Con and he didn't, but there's people claiming no, they've seen him in it. And so there you go. As to what the scene pertains, don't know. Heard earlier screen tests of people saying there was a Superman scene per se. It was Amanda Waller talking to somebody, and I guess it was a scene of somebody in the suit or what have you from behind or whatever. And so just in case they would go with that. Is Henry Cavill talking to Amanda Waller in this scene? Or it sounds like he's talking to Black Adam in it. So they may have shot a different scene once they got him in it, for whatever ideas they have for going forward. And a lot of this changing things around to get ready to embark on their 10-year plan appears to be underway with this. So, of course, the logic of this, as I've said all along, is that they really need Superman back, and they need, in particular, Henry Cavill back as Superman, because it's just a very popular notion among the fandom of him playing the role. And but overall, they needed a Superman back, and this is very exciting should he show up, and that gives more of a spark and curiosity and draw to the film than it ordinarily would have. It's got Dwayne Johnson in it, of course, but it's a character no one knows. The Justice Society, very few people know that. And but this sort of excitement about it goes a long way to help it out. Now, of course, it still has to be a good film, because word of mouth can kill that too. But this just might get them over the finish line, this sort of thing. And if it's a good film, it'll do even better. And that would be great. So I think it's certainly believable, just on that alone, that because it would make perfect sense. I mean, if they couldn't come to a deal, then it just have to conclude that I guess Cavill just doesn't want to do it anymore. I mean, he says he does. You know, he's always been very positive about it. Or whatever the deal they offered, he's not interested, and then that would be it. The door would be shut. I don't think there would be any chance of him playing Superman again, and have to go off maybe play James Bond, but the descriptions that they're talking about what kind of Bond they want doesn't sound all that great to me, so maybe he should pass on that. Because there would be another great opportunity, because after seeing him in Man from U.N.C.L.E., I think he's perfect to get back to basics for James Bond, and he'd do a good job playing that character as well. But sounds like that's not going to happen, at least not the way one would want it, and I'd hate to see him wasted on something like that. So hopefully Superman is back in action and to the rescue, as it were, for the DCEU. So we'll see. We'll see. But I'm going with it's probably true. So there you go. I just couldn't help myself. Saw this and decided I got to make mention of it. So there you go.